A little bit ago, I put a community poll here on YouTube asking what other personal electric vehicles you are interested in seeing on the channel. You guys overwhelmingly voted for e-bikes, so here you go. A new company, HeyBike, hooked me up with this cruiser-style e-bike called the Cityscape, and I am pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoy riding it. A few months ago, I reviewed a very small folding e-bike from HeyBoy called the P10. It was an affordable bike, but it felt more like a tiny seated scooter rather than an e-bike. But now I finally have my first full-size electric bike, and I can already tell that I love these things. HeyBike did not pay me for this review and did not give me anything to say about the Cityscape, so all of this is my genuine impression of the bike. The Cityscape costs $850, and my initial impression here from my first week of riding is that there's a lot of value for your money. If you like what you see and want to check the Cityscape bike out, then that link will be down below in the description. The Cityscape comes partially assembled, but does require a bit of putting together. It is packed super well and came without any damage or defects. Okay, so I've been using the HeyBike Cityscape for about a week now, and it actually surprised me how much I like it and how fun it is to ride. So I'm going to show you some of the features that I like about it, some of the things that stood out to me, and then I will also show you a few things that I don't like about the bike. Okay, so starting at the front of the bike here, I was really impressed by the fact that this bike comes with a suspension fork. This bike probably doesn't need it, but it has been nice for going over curbs or bumps or whatever. It's nice to, you know, have a little bit extra cushion. Like I said, I don't think it needs it. For me, it's definitely a bonus. The travel on the fork isn't amazing. As you can see by this line here, you don't need a ton because you're going to be riding this on streets almost exclusively. You'll also notice on this fork, another thing that really surprised me was that there's a lockout switch. You go ahead and lock it, and then the fork won't compress at all. This is for if you're climbing a hill and you don't want the fork to compress, you can lock it out, and then you can open it right back up like that, and then the forks will compress normally. Going along with that front suspension, there's actually a little bit of rear suspension on the seat post. So this is the seat post itself, and then this actually compresses. I'm not strong enough to do it like that. It's not a ton, it's a little bit, but it's something I definitely noticed when I was rolling over bumps and going off of curbs. I could actually stay seated most of the time and not have it absolutely destroy my butt. So you'll notice that the Cityscape comes with the classic Zoom brake calipers, and it comes with 160mm rotors, which is super nice. The bigger rotors mean better stopping power. They are mechanical brakes, but I'm totally fine with that because this scooter only goes about 20 miles an hour, and so you don't really need the extra stopping power, and you have obviously disc brakes in the front and the rear, so you can stop with both if you need to. Okay, so moving on to the drivetrain, you'll see that we have a 1x7 speed drivetrain with actually Shimano components. And as you guys know, this is the first full-size e-bike that I've owned, and so I was actually really surprised to see that they are using name brand components on here rather than, well, you know, Zoom or some other Chinese brand, because, you know, these bikes are imported and rebranded. But I was pleasantly surprised to see that there is a Shimano logo on these. I mean, this is an entry-level derailleur, but it will definitely do the job. The range on the cassette is not amazing, but you don't really need a lot of range because you obviously have the pedal assist of the rear motor. I found that the 7 speeds have been more than enough, and honestly, I'm usually running it at the 2 highest gears most of the time because the pedal assist in the highest setting is just that powerful and that good that you don't really need to run it at a lower gear. Okay, so let's look at the battery setup here. This is actually a cool system, and I actually really like it. So the battery comes out, and you can lock it in with this key. Now, the way this works is, if you want to remove the battery, then the key goes in, it goes over to the unlock position. You have to push it in a little, and then this seat, you actually hit this tab right here. The seat folds up, and then you can go ahead and pop the battery out. This is a super nice feature because then you can bring your battery inside and charge it. Okay, then to put it back in, this just slides down, chunks in, locks down, and then that will lock it back in and you won't be able to pull it out. If you want to start the bike up, then you simply just click it to the on position, pop your seat back down, and you're good to go. You'll also notice here that there's USB charging, which is a super nice feature if you need to charge a phone or a light or something. The handlebar grips have not been great. They've been slipping around quite a bit. I definitely want to put on a different pair. There's no way that I can see to like tighten them down. They just slide on. And so I definitely want to switch these out as soon as possible because the handlebar grips sliding around like this really is annoying. And I wish they would have just put locking grips on them in the beginning. So moving over to the left hand, we obviously have our brake lever, our light, our horn, and then we have the display. And I actually really like this display. I think this is the perfect size and the perfect location for it. Once the battery's on, you just hold that down and the display will pop on. And then you can shift through your different gears. 1 is your lowest level of pedal assist. 2, obviously medium pedal assist. And 3 is the maximum pedal assist. 3 is by far the funnest. And unless you're trying to stretch out the distance on the motor, I mean, you should probably just always run it in 3. Then if you cycle it all the way down to 0, that is electronic only, and the throttle alone will accelerate the bike. Otherwise, the throttle does not accelerate the bike unless it is in 0. That is one thing that would be nice, is to be able to put it into 3, pedal up to speed, and then in order to maintain speed, to just hold down the throttle. Unfortunately, it doesn't do that, but honestly, it's such a small thing, and it's not like they can change anything about it. So on the right hand here, we have obviously our brake lever, and then we also have our electronic acceleration here, and then we have our shifting. And I've actually never seen, these are probably standard on cruiser bikes, but I've never seen this style of shifting where you shift up by pressing this button and then this dials down to the lower gears. Click it like that. I don't mind it. I'm not shifting a whole lot. I would probably shift more if I wasn't using the electronic motor pedal assist, but I mean, what's the point of riding an e-bike if you're not going to use the electronic assist? So a nice feature is that they included these mud guards. This one was already installed. The front one I had to install myself, but generally I'm not a huge fan of mud guards. They rattle around, and if conditions are so bad and wet and dirty that you need a mud guard, then you probably shouldn't be riding anyway. Obviously, I know there's some exceptions, riding through a puddle or through some sprinkler overspray or something. But they do rattle around a bit, which I don't love. Right now I'm running it stock, exactly as, they showed on the website, so that I get a good idea of how it works and how it sounds and how it feels, exactly as it's supposed to be out of the box. Another touch about this cruiser bike that I really like is this rear rack. I'm actually really excited to try and build or make something that will function as a way for me to perhaps run to the grocery store and grab groceries. And the fact that this rack comes installed on here and I don't have to go get my own is a nice touch, and I appreciate it. I was quite impressed with the kickstand too, as it is quite beefy and it doesn't look like it's going to fall off anytime soon, and it easily supports the weight of the bike. What I like about the bike also is that this is super friendly for my wife because of the drop step through frame here. It's really easy to get on and step over. There's no bar to step over, and so I think it's really friendly for all ages and all sizes. And the post also has a really good range. It's high enough for me, but also drops down low enough for my wife, who is 5'2" or something like that. And the bars come out far enough that she can reach them easily despite her small stature. So overall, I'm actually really impressed with the bike. I had low expectations, to be honest. That sounds bad, but I was actually really impressed, and I think it's a great buy for the money. And if you guys are interested in a cruising e-bike for the beach or for your local trails, I think it's a great option. I wasn't sponsored or told to say that. They sent me the bike. All they told me is that they wanted me to unbox it. And so here I am. This is my honest opinion and honest review. And I actually think it's a really good option for the money. You also may have noticed that in my Instagram posts and down in the description of my videos, I've been leaving a link for this helmet. This is the new helmet that I've been rocking with my slower scooters and with this bike. And it was sent to me by a company called Nobleman. They literally reached out to me and said, hey, can we send you a helmet? It would be nice if maybe you tried it out, and if you liked it, maybe plug it on social media or include it in a video, but no pressure, we'll send it out to you. So I really like that. They've been really nice to me in our communications, and you'll also see that they put my logo on it. So that's awesome. Honestly, it's been a super comfortable helmet. I've been really happy with it, and I've liked it so much that it's actually replaced my old Scott helmet, which is quite the feat considering I really like this thing, and this is not an inexpensive helmet. So this guy, I think it's $60. If you want it customized, it's going to be a little bit more, but definitely go check that out in the description. They've been super nice to me, and it's actually a helmet I genuinely like.
This e-bike seems it would be a great choice for anyone with a commute, as it's really intuitive to ride and you don't have to worry about getting sweaty while riding. It also seems like a super fun choice for cruising around town. We always vacation out on the central coast of California, and I'm excited to bring this e-bike out, along with a couple scooters for me and others to cruise around the beach town we visit. The price tag of $850 is really great for a bike, let alone an electric bike, so if you're interested in getting a casual cruiser like this, then check it out in the description below. Definitely plan on there being more e-bikes on this channel in the future, and I will also be putting up a range test for the HeyBike Cityscape soon, as I'm really curious what kind of range e-bikes like this get. I also have a couple new scooters on the way, so be sure to get subscribed to see my impressions on them when those arrive. Thanks for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.